In a world where YouTubers tend to have more boxing fights a year than actually upload videos, which is their job, it comes as no surprise that boxing is pretty taken over every social media platform. I mean, there's YouTube boxing, TikTok boxing, probably Snapchat boxing, but today what I'm going to be talking about is Twitter boxing. If you don't know what Twitter boxing is, then you're probably in the situation I was a couple of months ago, when I didn't even know about these people. But if I do say so myself, they're very entertaining. It is very funny. First off, let me just say, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone I talk about in this video. It's all for a laugh. I mean, I'll show you some footage here. I'm not the greatest at boxing. I've never claimed to be a fighter.
I'm not a fighter. I've never claimed to be a fighter.
And in all honesty, I'm not like the Wade concept. I can't break down fight. I can't tell if you're orthodox or southpaw. Well, I can, but you know what I mean. I'm just gonna be looking at the personality of these people and a bit of how they fight. So yeah, let's go. If you can't tell, I've slapped on my Misfits jumper as it's a more fitting piece of clothing to wear during a video like this. Alright, so apparently I have the worst camera in the world, so now it's resorted to me having to use my phone to record this. But yeah, without a doubt, let's just continue. The first person I want to speak about is Trey the Hillbilly Ingram. First of all, this guy's fucking terrifying. I would not want to cross him in a dark alley. And the thing that I've noticed with all these Twitter boxers is that their haircuts are actually... they're abysmal. I mean, mine's not great at the moment, but theirs just makes me feel sick. As I said, no disrespect, but they need a hairdresser. That is all I'm saying. But yeah, Trey the Hillbilly Ingram, apparently he's a wrestler, which explains his poor boxing ability. These guys I'm going to speak about, when it comes to boxing, they know the basics in a way. Like, you can see that they do know how to box in a way. But with Trey Ingram, something that I noticed is he doesn't really know how to box as well. Like, he's a giant, and he can swing, and he's always on the front foot, and he can actually take shots. Like, bro, the way I saw this guy fight against the other guy I'm going to speak about in a minute was actually quite insane. Like, fair play to him. I was originally going to react to their fight, but I've watched it so many times that I can just speak about it off the cuff like this. But I'll show clips, obviously. And one thing I have to say is thank you so much for Beetlejuice to stepping up to referee this match. We really appreciate you, and we want you back on the internet, my guy. So yeah, and this Trey guy, it's obviously he can face some adversity, because when he was fighting against, I'll just speak about him now. Patrick Typlusion, I'm going to call him Patrick because I can't take myself seriously saying Typlusion. I sound like a dickhead. But yeah, at a point in the fight, this Patrick geezer, who I will talk more in depth about in a minute, he hits him in the balls, which looks painful. And after that, Patrick hits him twice again after Trey's obviously hurt, which is a bit dirty from Patrick. But Trey, he just wants to recover, so fair play to him. Obviously, in that sense, he doesn't act like how he looks, because if you looked at him and you heard that, you'd think that he'd fucking stab your nan or something because you done that. But you know, fair play to him. Alright, so we've spoken about Trey Ingram, the fucking scary motherfucker. So now let's speak about Patrick. In his fight against Trey Ingram, I would generally say that the fight was very even. But when it comes to boxing, I feel like Patrick is a bit better. On Twitter, he's a bit of a loudmouth. He likes to talk shit to his opponent, which is fair enough. He's put it out there that he wants to fight Mike Malak, who's Logan Paul's friend. I don't know why, but every man to his own. Obviously, the haircut, as I've said, is not that great. But I'll give it to Patrick because he's done something in boxing that I've never seen before. He single-handedly performed, ironically, not single-handedly, as he performed the first ever double punch on someone.
Fight out. I'm letting y'all work. I ain't even gonna break you. Oh.
And just furthermore on what I said about him being a better boxer out of him and Trey Ingram, I mean, fighting wise, I mean, if it was a street fight, Trey Ingram would absolutely decapitate him. But I feel like Patrick, he did stay more composed. He knew what he was doing a bit more, and he trained more boxing than Trey. So fair enough. I do respect Patrick in that sense. He did do quite well. So now we're moving on to one of my favourite Twitter boxers. But yeah, my favourite Twitter boxer, Waffle Taco Gamer. This guy thinks he's in an anime, and I actually respect it. Like, fair play. I haven't watched the fights he's had in his kitchen, although they do look mildly entertaining, but I focus on the fight he actually had with Patrick Typlusion. Waffle Taco Gamer, I respect you, lad. But the funniest thing I've ever seen was in his walkout to fight Patrick. The fight was on a field. They could have chosen somewhere else better to have the fight, but you know, it was on a field, fair play. And Waffle Taco Gamer spends about 30 seconds hyping himself out, waiting for the beat to drop on his song, which I think was I Need a Hero from Shrek. Yeah, that song. So he's standing there hyping himself up, about to go and beat this guy up. He's banging his fist together. He's trying to act intimidating. And what Patrick does, he just starts dancing, which I'm sorry, it made me crease because I was thinking that would piss me off. If I've just waited 30 seconds to walk out to intimidate this guy and he's fucking having a little dance along to it. Boxing wise, this guy is actually, I don't know why I'm laughing, I shouldn't laugh. This guy is actually I would say he's the most technical boxer out of all three of these guys I've spoken about. Don't get me wrong, he's not amazing. He does throw some mad shots, and he does does get a bit caught up, but he does stay composed, which I think is the best thing for these guys to do at their level of boxing, because obviously they're not great. I don't think they've been in gym, but just having a stance, staying composed, I think that's the best thing they could do. But in all fairness, I must say, the first round between him and Patrick was very, very even. Boxing wise, Waffle Talker Gamer really like stood out, but I reckon it could, if it went on, it could have gone either way. But Patrick, he got a bit tired, so he pulled out. Like, the one thing, I was in this guy's situation. If I flew all the way out to another state or another city just to go and fight someone, I wouldn't take a defeat to being tired. Like, he hasn't even gone there to fight. He's gone there just to give up in a sense. But I don't know the full story. Could be something else. Fair play to both men. It was actually a bit of a decent fight. It was a fun scrap to watch. And I was only really going to show these 3 people. But then when I put a tweet out asking if I should upload this video, which got a lot of responses, someone called Kingston replied to it and said only if this is included. And it's him. Well, he looks 12 years old for one, and it's him supposedly knocking this guy out, which is impressive. But at the end of the day, if you're fighting someone who can't box, what do you expect? It's not boxing though, is it? It's like literally just scrapping. You're wearing boxing gloves, but you're not using any technique. Just probably got your friend who's never even watched a boxing fight, tends to put on gloves, swinging. Obviously he's going to connect. But I don't know the backstory behind this. His friend might be a fucking professional boxer, 55-0, so I can't really judge. But all it takes is just getting in the ring with someone who knows a bit more than you, and that won't really work.